You're watching the evening news, and you notice the reporter has this habit of saying during the broadcast. You actually count them, and on average, it happens exactly twice per show.
So here's a puzzle for you. What is the exact mathematical probability that tonight they're going to say, more than 2 times? Or 3 times? What about 10 times? Predicting completely random, independent events like this seems, well, impossible, right? I mean, how do you predict chaos? Well, it turns out in statistics, we have a highly specific tool designed for exactly this kind of problem.
By the end of this explainer, you are going to completely master what's known as the Poisson Distribution. We'll break down the core concept, translate the formula into plain English, and show you exactly how to apply these steps to real-world examples so you can confidently solve these problems yourself. Let's dive right in.
Section 1. The Poisson Concept. Predicting random events.
Okay, let's start with the big picture here. What exactly is a Poisson experiment? To really understand the math, we first need to visualize what we're actually measuring. The Poisson distribution gives us the probability of a specific number of events occurring in a fixed interval of time or space, assuming we already know the average rate. Think of it kind of like a bucket left out in a rainstorm. The fixed interval is the bucket itself, its exact size and the exact amount of time you leave it outside. The events are the random raindrops falling into it. We know it's raining at a certain average rate, but the exact number of drops that hit the bucket, that's completely random. And this analogy brilliantly highlights the 2 non-negotiable rules for a Poisson problem. On the left side, you must have a fixed interval. This could be a chunk of time, like 5 minutes, or a measure of space, like 100 pages of a book. On the right side, you must have a known average rate for that specific interval. For example, knowing a book averages 5 spelling errors per 100 pages. If you have a fixed interval and a known average, boom, you have a Poisson experiment. Now, I know exactly what you might be thinking right now. A super common question that trips students up right here is, wait, what if the time interval changes? Like, what if I know the average for an hour, but the test asks for the probability in 15 minutes? Keep that exact question in your head, because I'm going to show you how to solve that in just a moment. Section 2, Unpacking the Formula, the math step by step.
Now that we understand the basic idea, let's move on to the actual formula. Statistical formulas can look like total alphabet soup. So let's break this down piece by piece. The formula calculates the probability of X, which is really just the number of occurrences we're curious about, like our news reporter saying 3 times. Next is the Greek letter mu, or sometimes you'll see it written as lambda. This is simply your mean, your average rate. And finally, E, which is just a standard mathematical constant, roughly 2.718. You just plug your average rate and your target number into the formula, let your calculator handle the E, and you get your probability. Not too bad, right?
Now, what's genuinely amazing here is the standard deviation. Look how elegantly simple this is compared to other statistical models. For Poisson distribution, the standard deviation, denoted by sigma, is literally just the square root of the mean mu. That's the whole shebang. So if your average rate is, say, 144 emails a day, your standard deviation is just the square root of 144, which is 12. Done. Section 3, Adjusting the interval, scaling the average.
So circling back to that earlier question, what does happen when your problem asks for a probability in a completely different time frame? Well, here is your incredibly reliable 3-step framework. First, strictly identify the new interval the question is asking about. Second, and this is absolutely crucial, scale your old average to match this new interval. This gives you your new mu. Third, take that new mu and just apply it to your probability formula. Let's make this crystal clear with an example. Imagine a local bakery. The average number of fresh bread loaves put on a shelf is 12 every 30 minutes. But the question asks, what is the probability that exactly 3 loaves are shelved in a 5-minute period? Following our steps, our new interval is 5 minutes. To find our new average, we have to scale it. 5 minutes is 1/6 of 30 minutes. So we multiply our original average of 12 by 1/6. Our new mu is 2. Now you just plug mu equals 2 and x equals 3 into your formula. Pretty straightforward once you break it down.
Section 4, Real-World Applications, Telephones and Emails. Let's connect this to real life and drill down on these steps with a slightly more complex scenario. Let's look at Leah. Leah receives about 6 telephone calls between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. We want to know the probability she receives more than one call in the next 15 minutes. Okay, first step, the new interval, it's 15 minutes. Second step, the new average.
Well, there are 8 15-minute chunks in a 2-hour window. So we take our original 6 calls and divide by 8. Our new mu is 0.75 calls per 15 minutes.
So the major trap to watch out for here is the phrase more than one call. Because a Poisson distribution has literally no upper limit. I mean, she could theoretically get infinite calls. We can't just calculate the probability of 2 plus 3 plus 4 forever. It would never end. Instead, we use the complement rule. We calculate the probability of exactly 0 calls and exactly 1 call. We add those up, which gives us about 0.8267. Then we simply subtract that from 1. The result? A 17.33% chance Leah gets more than 1 call.
Okay, let's pause for a second. Wait, this is important, and it's a fantastic shortcut if you know when to use it. The Poisson distribution isn't just for fixed intervals. It can actually act as a sort of stunt double for a completely different statistical model, the binomial distribution. See, calculating a binomial distribution can get extremely clunky when you have a massive number of trials. The golden rule is this. You can safely swap out a massive, complex binomial calculation for a much faster Poisson one if your probability of success, that's P, is very small, like less than 0.05, and your number of trials, N, is very large, usually greater than 20. Let's actually prove this works with some real data. In Alaska, the probability of low seismic activity over 48 hours was about 1.02%. What are the odds of seeing low activity on exactly 10 out of the next 200 days? Well, we have a large N at 200 and a tiny p at 0.0102. Comparing the two, the heavy binomial formula gives us 0.000039. The Poisson formula, where we just multiply n times p to get our mu of 2.04, gives us 0.000045. They are incredibly close, making the Poisson an absolutely brilliant approximation tool when you're in a pinch.
Section 5. Wrapping up, key takeaways.
Before we finish up, let's quickly summarize the key points so you have this totally locked in. Here are your golden rules. To use this model, you absolutely must have a fixed interval and a known average rate. Remember that if your interval changes, your number one priority is to scale your mean. Don't forget that the standard deviation is beautifully simple, just the square root of mu. And finally, keep this in your back pocket as a really clever shortcut for binomial distributions with lots of trials and low probabilities. Let me leave you with a real-world thought to test out. According to the email management company Baden, the average user gets 147 emails a day. You now have the exact framework to figure out the precise mathematical odds that you will receive exactly 160 emails tomorrow. Identify your interval, find your mu, and apply the formula. Try the math out for yourself and see just how predictable the chaos of your inbox can actually be. And hey, if you want to master another seemingly impossible stats concept, check out our next explainer on normal distributions.